Hi, I'm Leo, and welcome to the Element Lounge. Be sure to kick off your shoes, leave all your cares at the door, and when you enter in, be ready to vibe with me while we talk all things life. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hey Elements, welcome back to the channel. This is Leo. I hope that all of you are having an amazing start to your week. Give me a second, because of course I got to pull y'all up so that I can be able to see any of your comments. I know it's a lot going on, but yeah, guys, I decided to go ahead and jump in here and see and talk about a few things. Okay. Well, anyway, first thing that I want to talk about. Hey, good morning, Just Lovely, my beautiful moderator. Thank you so much. Oh, now they don't want to display this irritating message they've been displaying for the last couple of weeks. Hey, sexy Harlem, good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday to everybody, y'all. Yeah, I just wanted to jump in here and give my opinion about a few things or whatever. As you guys can see, the title of this broadcast is Dance Challenge Review / SugarXO is back. Got a lot of things going on. I'm going to start off with how my weekend was. I'm not going to keep y'all for a long period of time. Of course, if you would like to hit the link and you have any opinions about anything that I've said, don't have a problem with it. Just don't derail my commentary and do not come up with the foolishness, because I don't got time. But either way, I had a really relaxing weekend. And that's pretty much what I do. I just, of course, try to be better as far as, my health. Y'all know it's a touch and go every day, but I just try to be grateful for every single moment. And also, I was in the process of replanning me putting SugarXO back out there. Hey, Kimberly Black, good morning. I'm the review challenge. I did not have the opportunity to watch it before it was put on private. Yeah, I did watch. I'm gonna jump right into that real quick, because like I said, I don't like to waste y'all time. But anyway, back to the thing. Oh, before I even jump to the SugarXO thing, I also had a great conversation with my older sister who is out of town. I really would like to even start having conversations with her on here, do like a little segment. Hey, Miss VJ, do like a little segment with her, because we be talking about some real life stuff that could really help a lot of people and stuff, especially with both of us being, within our 40s. She's actually a year older than me. So just the different things that we are going through, that a lot of women go through in different ways when you start to hit them certain ages, So it was a great conversation with her. And that was that. Also, when it comes to the SugarXO, again, I am putting that back on the scene. When I had even decided to mention it in another place that I operate on social media, I had a lot of customers who used to support me back in the day, who basically told me that anytime that I'm ready to go ahead and just let them know. And I really appreciate that. Me and my sister also talked about that as well. When I did stop SugarXO at the time, I was still working full time, and it had just got so overwhelming because my customers were not ordering just one dozen here. They were ordering like a whole bunch of dozens at night. And she even made me remember about the fact that this when I was on afternoons, and I was, I think, 2 to 10 or 2 to 11, whatever like that. And I used to get off from work and be up until about 3 o'clock in the morning doing orders, with people even picking them up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So it was a lot going on at that time. But a lot of those people popped back out. So we about to go ahead and get it started. I'm going to do it slowly but surely. But it's time to basically jump fully back into it, not only when it comes to the actual sales, but also monetizing. Like I told you all in my last video, monetizing it all the way around, even when it comes to social medias. I have my SugarXO YouTube channel, which I definitely need to pay more attention to. So when it comes to my future SugarXO content, even the little shorts, I will be doing it over there. Also, I am asking those who do support me who actually is subscribed to that SugarXO channel, that if y'all could even start running it like at night, like when y'all sleep. I don't have a lot of content over there, but I do have a few videos. If y'all can just put it on and start running it so that we can get the watch hours up as I start to put more content over there, because I definitely would like to get that channel monetized or whatever and stuff. Like I said, there's a lot going on, especially after, again, the news that I received about, just me possibly not being able to return to work because of some of the permanent damage that chemo and radiation has done. I got to handle my business. And like a lot of people have been telling me, perhaps this is God's way of pushing you into what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Hey, gender goddess member. So anyway, let me get to the point of why some of y'all is here. We'll talk about all of that later, but yeah, please support it. Good morning, Cruiser member. Okay, so dance challenge review. Now I realized from a little bit of some of the videos I peeked in, there were some people who did not see the actual dance challenge when it went on, because of the fact that it was put on private, because it had got, I think, a copyright strike due to some music and stuff. I guess a few songs that were on there or whatever. The Miss O, who was the host of it, she has decided that she is not going to edit it at this time or re-release it because of a few issues that she has with the way she was handled. Okay. But from my point of view, when it comes to the overall dance challenge, I thought it was good. I really did. Like I told y'all, I like the challenges. Had it got a time in the beef sector to where it was a little bit too much? Yes. Was it a lot of scandal? Yes. But it is what it is. I like when everybody come together, because pretty much no matter how people feel about each other, no matter nobody's intentions, when the challenges come along, people can talk stuff. There's always a lot of controversy, but people usually end up supporting. Okay. So initially, when the challenge got started, the only two contestants that showed up was Uppity and Honest Row. They were the only two contestants that were there from the beginning. You had the judges. I think it was, oh my God, what is her name? I don't know why her name is escaping me, but I think it's hypnotic touch. But the one that's always doing the little jingles and stuff in the chat or whatever and stuff. I like her doing that because I love all things music, but it was her. And then I forgot the second lady's name, but she was a good judge as well. And then we had Brian. Brian, to me, made an excellent judge. He was shady, he was very messy with it or whatever, but that's what you need when it comes to a beef sector challenge. I think that's what a lot of people have forgotten. Okay, Allie. Okay, yes. So it was Hypnotic Touch, Allie, and Brian. Some people had an issue with the way that Brian had judged it. I didn't have an issue with it because he brought the mess. And y'all know anything, hey Sonya, member, anything when it comes to any beef sector challenge, you know, I think some of y'all kill me with this trying to pretend like niggas is professional. Ain't nothing professional over here. Let's just keep it real. In order to even be deemed as a successful challenge, it got to be some mess, either before the challenge, during the challenge, or after. Hey, Candy Cane. So let's stop with the, acting like y'all in Mataj Hall somewhere. Okay. So he did exactly what he was supposed to do, and that was bring the mess. I even likened him to how I'm watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and everybody have been basically upping Angela Oakley as one of the newbies and saying that she been bringing a mess like she's supposed to do. Just like when it came to Kenya. People love to hate Kenya, but Kenya brought the exact type of mess that was needed. Everybody cannot be perfect. Okay. So in that aspect, I thought Brian was an excellent judge. He was very funny. The way he was being shady and just different things like that. So, I thought it was perfectly fine. Now, again, the controversy came because and before I get there too, wait, hold on, y'all. Okay, so so also too, when it comes to Demon Zoe, I thought she was an excellent host. I like Demon Zoe as a host. I feel like she takes it very serious. She has fun with it and everything. So I think she's a great host or whatever. So I'm gonna give her props when it comes to that. She do know how to make stuff work and try to make the best out of everything, no matter what's going on. Now, when it comes to the actual contestants, there were only two that showed up initially. Uppity, Honest Row. They were the only two that showed up, and they did their thing. They danced or whatever. I know it was an issue because no music was available or whatever. They basically had to have their own music. Now, I will say this, and this is just me being real. That's why I feel like when it comes to challenges, that's why I feel like it is important to have a DJ. It is important to have a DJ, but not only have a DJ, to have a DJ that knows which music is going to be flagged and which one is not. Okay. It's certain artists that you can play, and then there's certain artists to where you cannot play them as far as it being blocked worldwide and everything like that. That is the greatness of having a DJ. And a DJ again who understands that, who knows how it works when it comes to these copyright strikes and everything or whatever. So that's why it's important. All right, that's number one. Okay, when it comes to people entering your contest, I feel like this: it is a lot to try to get up in front of people anywhere, but especially these ignorant people here. We can be quite ignorant. Even the chat had me crying at some of the comments, whether I like the people or not. They was in them comments cutting up, but that's also a part of it. Now, next thing you know, maybe about an hour or so in, if I can remember correctly, the rules were changed, meaning that people wanted other people to join the contest. Okay. One of the main people who was mentioned at the time was Queen 88. When Queen 88 was mentioned, there were some people who was like, oh, wait a minute, because we all know that Queen 88, usually when she enters a contest, especially a dance contest, she's going to win. It is just that simple. That's something that is known. That's just like, not to be arrogant with me, but when it comes to any contest concerning creativity with food and everything. That's why, like I said, a lot of contests I didn't enter, not only because of time, but I already knew I was gonna kill it. Anytime you see Leo come when it comes to certain contests, I'm gonna automatically be looked at as a threat. Some people may be open about it and some people may hide it. But that's just simple. Okay. But yeah, and a person who particularly was not happy about it was Uppity. Uppity was not happy about the fact that Queen 88 was allowed to come. She was not happy about, I think, even the other people, because I believe it was Trish, James, who else? I think Trish, James, and Queen 88 were the only three that came. And this is the way I feel about it. If I were Uppity, would I have been pissed? Yes, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed because of the fact that it isn't as though the contest had been going on maybe 30 minutes. I'll say that at the longest. The contest had been going on. I think Demon Zoe had been live like maybe like over an hour by the time they entered the contest. On regular terms, was that fair? Hell no. Hell no, it was not fair. And Allie, I believe, was probably like the only one that I can remember that actually stood up and said, hey, wait a minute. I don't think that that's fair, because of the simple fact these people were here on time. They were here on time. And now y'all allowing these people to come late, especially an hour and so late. I know I'm not over exaggerating. Now, for me, it doesn't matter about what sector they come from. I'm really tired of this sector shit, and I have told y'all that before. It does not matter what sector these people are from or whatever. And also, if we gonna bring the sector stuff into it, I don't care if it was somebody beef sector. I would have felt the same way. Like, what the hell? We were here on time, like it or not. And that's just the way I feel about that. However, when it comes to beef sector style, it actually went the way exactly it was supposed to go, because guess what? It was going to bring what? More controversy. And that's exactly what it did. It brought more controversy. And that was that. Okay. So to me, it was a successful contest. Now, all the extra stuff, like the arguing between Uppity and the Miss O, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't know exactly how far that went, why they going back and forth and dragging each other the way they are. That is what it is. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I will say that I do understand from both points of view. I understand Uppity having an issue with contestants being allowed an hour or so in. Okay, y'all have to give her that. But it is what it is at the same time. And the contest went on the way that it did. When you are running the contest, I've said it before because I've done it as well. Running the contest is not easy. No matter if you try to make everything perfect, somebody is going to have an issue with it. And that's just the way that it is. Okay. So all this other stuff that then graduated from it, hey, that's what it is. Just from the hey Myrtle, just from the snippet I'm hearing, it sounds like the challenge was poorly executed. Rules, participants, and see, this thing is in the way. Our standard, I mean, a mess. I think that's what it said. Mess our standard for a challenge. I mean, yeah, I feel like the Miss O did the best that she could do with what she was working with, because I believe originally it was supposed to be Pizza given the challenge. And for whatever reason, I don't know whether, I think from what I heard that Pizza had decided to not have the challenge or whatever, and the Miss O volunteered to go ahead and host it on her channel. And that's exactly how it went. That's why I gave her props when I first brought her up, as far as her being able to work with what it is that she got, because usually those little details like that, having music for people, or people got to have their own music, whatever rules that you have for your contest, which people can do at any time, that to me is supposed to be established in the beginning, and then also too, if you decide to let somebody late into a contest, I feel like you should ask your judges and you should ask the contestants. That's just like when I was in a charcuterie contest. ODS had allowed, I think Lovely Love was the last one to show up for whatever reason. It was his contest, him and the Miss O's contest to make, the decision. But he did ask. He asked us, did we have a problem with, Lovely Love coming in? I personally didn't have an issue with it at all, or whatever and stuff. That's just what it was. But again, you couldn't be mad if any of us did, because we were there on time. And I think that a lot of people don't get, because some of y'all like to live y'all lives on here 24 hours a day. Everybody don't operate like that. Hey, Miss Patrice, member. Hey, Marcus, moderator and member. Everybody don't operate like that. You have to have respect for people's time, even when it comes to your judges. Everybody don't want to be on here 15 hours, whether you got a job or not. Okay, everybody don't want to give their soul and their energy to this social media shit all day. Like, y'all don't understand just overall. Hey, J Dunn member, y'all don't understand overall any content creator, whether you think you're big, small, whether you get numbers or not. When you are on social media, that is a part of your energy that you are giving away, good or bad. Okay, and everybody not about to be on here the amount of time that a lot of y'all be on here. I talk about it all the time, about being conscious of the time that you're giving away when it comes to anything or whatever. You have to be very careful of that. It's this social media stuff, it takes a lot out of you, not to mention your sleep, which is one of the main important things, is sleep. A lot of y'all not getting sleep. So it makes it to where you're not even able to think clearly. Also, just the amount of energy that's being exchanged back and forth. We sitting up here as content creators exchanging energy with people whether we know them or not, you're dealing with good and bad energy continuously, going in and out, even through your screen, whether it's your computer or your phone. There are rays that go in and out, and I don't think people understand the gravity of that. That's why when you look at a lot of studies, people talk about just the effect of social media, even just the blue screen itself, the effects of how it can have on your mental health. So a lot of this stuff is deeper than what we even give. But my point is, you have to be respectful of people's time. And that's just my opinion about it or whatever. I'm not knocking anybody who chooses to, spend all their life on here, but that's not everybody's story. So I just feel like respect needs to be given when you are having a contest. If the contest start at this time, you need to be on motherfucking time, period. And that's just that. I don't give a shit what the reason is. Like I said, maybe 15, 20 minutes late, I'll give you even to 30. But an hour and something, you can't get mad at somebody for having an issue with that, because they looking at it like them even being there is a support of you. You didn't have to pull their arm or whatever like that for them to support you. And whether you like them or not, you got to respect the fact that they were there. It would be no contest without any contestants. And it's just that simple. It's like when I gave my contest, I didn't have all the contestants that originally showed up. I think only 4 out of the 6 or 8 that we originally had showed up. But it was what it was. And I don't give a damn if only 2 of them had showed up. If only 2 had showed up, okay, the money was going to get split between those 2 people, because I also, in my mind, had a time period on which I planned on being live. Did not want to be live for no more than 3 hours, and even 3 hours was damn pushing it, because I had everything set on this how long the intro gonna be, this how long Buddy Lee gonna do this how long each contestant had, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I already had set on my mind what time I wanted the contest to end, because in the past, a lot of the contests, even though I enjoy them, a lot of them have been live too damn long, taking too long with unnecessary ass shit. And that's just the way I look at it. I'm like that in my real life when it comes to time. That's the main thing my dad taught me, is being respectful of other people's time. And that's just simple as that. But overall, it was a great contest. I do hope that Zimizo reconsiders and, edits and put it back out, because it was a good contest. But if she don't, that's her right. That is her right not to put it out, or, for her to have a issue with the way that she was handled when it comes to certain things. She has that right. At the end of the day, it's on her channel. So it is what it is when it comes to that. That's pretty much all I got to say in regards to my thoughts with the dance challenge. It was a good challenge. It was good and messy. Controversy came after it. That's how I go. I wish everybody well when it comes to it, and that's just simply that. But that's all I got to say, y'all. I'm not going to keep y'all long, because I do care about my time and energy. And I'm about to get off of here and work on a couple of things and go on with my day. I want you all to have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys when I can. Bye, Elements. Thank you so much for joining me in the Element Lounge. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, and I would love to see you again. If you happen to have any opinions about anything that was discussed, feel free to leave it in the comments section. All I ask is that you be respectful and adult about it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.